Meeting order, 7:35 PM, Wednesday, October 15th.
Councilwoman Selby.
Present.
Councilman Cardicini.
Present.
Supervisor Keating.
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Present.
Councilwoman Martin, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we do not have any other preliminary matters, and we do have a public hearing scheduled for 7:35. So while it's still 7:35, we're going to move down right now to item number 2 under our new business. And this is a public hearing for a fill permit application for Kevin Struck located at 8773 Rockwood Road. And let me just pull this up right now. And the public hearing reads as follows. Please take notice that the Boston Town Board has scheduled a public hearing for 7:35 PM on October 15th, 2025 at Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, on the application of Kevin Struck for a permit to store approximately 800 cubic yards of fill to fill in a pond located at 8773 Rockwood Road, Town of Boston. At such public hearing, all persons interested who wish to be heard will be heard. This was by order of the Boston Town Board, Sandra L. Quinlan, Town Clerk. So the public hearing is now open for this one item. If anyone would like to come up to the microphone, please state your name and your address, and the public hearing is now open. Anyone?
Richard Hawkins, 6892 Pinhook Drive in Boston. Do we know where this fill is coming from to fill the pond?
Yes, that's all been indicated on the fill permit that the town now has on file, so we know where that is located, and Matt Colo Excavating has provided that information to the board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just would like the appreciation of the town to take care of this problem. I just want to fill in the
Step to the
pond.
microphone, state your name and address. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Struck. I live at 8773 Rockwood Road, Boston. I lived there for 30 years. The pond was there when I bought the house. It's been kind of an inconvenience for me. My son's dog almost died in it last year. My wife started going into the pond and I yanked her back and proceeded to get the dog out. And I've got grandkids now. I just had one granddaughter born 2 weeks ago, was my first. And I see more coming, and I just don't want the pond 17 feet from my house. And I don't want anybody to die. Granted, it's gonna be, been trying to do this for a while. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Any other comments from the public regarding the public hearing related to 8773 Rockwood Road? All right, hearing other further comments, public hearing is now closed. And so we're gonna, right now, it would be prudent to move that, that's what I'm doing next. Yep, so I just want to make a motion next to approve the fill permit for Kevin Struck located at 8773 Rockwood Road. Second.
Councilwoman Selby.
Yes.
Councilman Cardicini.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, so we have one other public hearing, and it's now 7:40. It was scheduled at 7:40, so we're right on time. Next public hearing reads as follows. Notice of public hearing, notice to the citizens of the town of Boston. A public hearing will be held on October 15th, 2025 at 7:40 PM Eastern Prevailing Time at Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, regarding the use of a federal community development funds in the town of Boston. The town of Boston is eligible for federal community development grant under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The purpose of the hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express community development and housing needs and to discuss possible projects which would benefit low to moderate income persons in the town of Boston. Citizens are urged to attend this meeting to make their views and/or written proposals on the town of Boston's selection of potential projects to be submitted for possible funding by the Federal Community Development Grant Program. The hearing will also present a review of prior community development projects and expenditures and a discussion of eligible activities. The meeting room is wheelchair accessible. Those needing special arrangements should call the Town of Boston at 716-941-6113 by October 10th, 2025. This was by order of the Town of Boston Town Board, Sandra L. Quinlan, Town Clerk, and we are an equal opportunity provider and employer. So the public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant grant is now open. If you have any remarks regarding the CDBG or Community Development Block Grant, please come to the microphone, state your name, address, and the public hearing is now open. Nobody. Okay. All right, so I will close the public hearing with no comments heard. So with that being said, I want to move on to item number 4 under our agenda, which is Resolution 2025-84 for the Erie County 2026-2027 Community Development Block Grant Request. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-84 for the Community Development Block Grant Request Program during the 2026-2027 grant cycle. I make a motion we approve.
One second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, so we're going to go back up now because we have about 4 minutes before our next public hearing. So our first item on our regular business tonight is the consideration of all fund bills. And Councilwoman Sully, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Upon review of the fund bills, I'd like to make a motion to approve the amount of $474,540.35. I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item 3 is our correspondence tonight, and we have 7 items of correspondence. They are all as follows, and they're available in the town clerk's office and part of the town board packet if you'd like to read any of these. First item is the town clerk's report for September of 2025. Item 2 is the dog control officer report for September of 2025. Item number 3 is the code enforcement officer report for September of 2025. Item 4 is the 2026 budget presentation, which was held last week. Item 5 is what's in the 2026 tentative budget. Item number 6 is a letter from the Erie County Department of Public Works from Eckert and Taylor, all-way stop request. And item number 7 is a letter of resignation from Jennifer Caparello as the board clerk. Again, all those items are on file in the town clerk's office as part of the board packet tonight. Going on to our new business, since we have a couple of minutes left here before our next public hearing, our request from the floor. If anyone would like to make any open comments that are not subject to the public hearings tonight, please feel free to come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and please try to keep it to 3 minutes each for the open floor. The floor is now open.
I hope I can, Jay Jackson, 7964 Back Creek Road. I hope I can read this in 3 minutes. This is a letter to the editor of the Springville Journal. However, I believe it reflects the opinion of folks in our town as well. Editor, over the past 18 months, I have served this village of Springville as a trustee. I've been pleasantly surprised over and over at the dedicated workforce we employ. Our electric, water, and streets divisions routinely exceed expectations with the work they put in, especially on an emergency basis. The village office runs well and efficiently. Our employees are truly our greatest asset. However, there is one person who is not under our direct employ that has repeatedly stood out in his service to our village. I am writing today to give him some of the recognition he rightly deserves. That person is Deputy Shane Miller of the Erie County Sheriff's Office. Shane's position on the community engagement team has been incredibly vital to the well-being and overall safety of our greater Springville community. He is dedicated, knowledgeable, and attentive to an ever-growing list of requests from both our employees and our constituents. The Village of Springville does pay for a dedicated 24-hour sheriff's deputy to be positioned in the village. However, it is impossible to calculate the value of an officer like Shane in just dollars and cents because he consistently goes above and beyond, assisting with contentious code enforcement issues or working with the school resource officer, just to name a few of his many examples of serving the greater good. We are lucky to have Shane and the relationships he has built with some of our most vulnerable residents. I am hopeful he continues to work in this community for years to come because he will leave big shoes to fill if he ever decides to change positions. The Erie County Sheriff's Office is truly lucky to have Deputy Miller as their employee, and we are all better for it. That's written by Jessica Schuster, Village of Springville trustee. I felt it reflected our town's, and that article is posted on bostonny.com/news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, it is 7:45. We do have a public hearing scheduled for 7:45, and this public hearing reads as follows. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the Town Board of the Town of Boston on the 15th day of October 2025 at 7:45 p.m. at the Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, on the adoption of a proposed local law entitled, "A Local Law Regulating the Possession, Use, and Sale of Fireworks in the Town of Boston," an abstract of which as follows. The proposed local law would establish regulations concerning possession, use, sale, and public display of fireworks within the Town of Boston. This law is intended to align with Town Code and the requirements of the New York State Penal Law, Section 270, the New York State Fire Code, and the 9 NYCRR Part 225, and to provide the safe permitting and oversight of public fireworks displays. It prohibits unauthorized fireworks and establishes penalties for violations in order to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the residents, visitors, and property. The complete list of text of the said local law is on file at the town office of the town clerk, where it may be examined by an interested individual during regular business hours. At such public hearing, all persons interested who wish to be heard will be heard, and this is by the order of the Town of Boston Town Board. Sandra L. Quinlan, Town Clerk. So the public hearing for this component is now open. If anyone would like to come up and discuss the fireworks code or have any comments thereof, please come up to the microphone, and the public hearing is now open. Pause for one more moment. Anybody else? All right, with no comments, the public hearing has now been closed. In lieu of that, we are moving on to now item number 6, which is a resolution 2025-85, which is a requirement for this local law for the seeker review for 2025 local law intro number 2, titled "A Local Law Adding Chapter 58 to the Boston Town Code," titled "Fireworks." And because we do have a few minutes until our next, yes, we do have a couple minutes here until our next public hearing. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2025-85 for the seeker review, and this is for a negative declaration. This is something we need to do for a law when it goes on the books for the town. I'd like to make a motion to approve a negative declaration seeker review under resolution 2025-85.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukasik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, so we've got just about a minute, so let me try to squeeze in one more thing before our next public hearing. This is what happens when we schedule a lot of public hearings on the same night. Resolution item number 7 tonight is resolution 2025-86, which is the adoption of the 2025 local law entitled "A Local Law Adding Chapter 58 to the Boston Town Code," labeled as "Fireworks." And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that up tonight?
Yes, Supervisor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-86, adding the Chapter 58 to the Boston Town Code for Fireworks, which regulates the possession, use, and sale of fireworks within the town of Boston, consistent with New York State law, and also establishes permitting, safety, and enforcement provisions. I make a motion to accept this resolution.
Second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukasik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. We have probably about 30 seconds. I can't legally start a public hearing just before time, so some filler, just so the public knows and it's on record. This was a request by both the town emergency manager and our code enforcement office to go in line with fireworks code. There's New York State laws that specifically explain the fallout zones. It's just something that when we have our large events out here, that will all be documented. It gives our fire companies ample time. And so that is what essentially originated. This is our town emergency manager and our code enforcement office. So without further ado, it is now officially 7:50, so we're gonna move on to item number 8, which is another public hearing tonight. And it reads as follows. This is a legal notice of the Town of Boston, and notice is hereby given that pursuant to resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Boston, New York, a public hearing will be held at Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road at 7:50 PM Eastern Prevailing Time on October 15th, 2025, for the purpose of considering a proposed local law which, if approved, would allow the real property tax levy in the 2026 town budget to exceed the tax levy limit pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 3-C subsection 5. This law is drafted due to the water projects occurring throughout the town and upcoming increases to debt service. Copies of the proposed local law are available to review in the office of the town clerk during regular office hours. This was dated September 29th, 2025, published October 2nd, 2025, by the order of the town board, Sandra L. Quinlan, town clerk. And again, this institution is an equal opportunity provider and employer. If anyone would like to come up and speak in regards to this matter, please come up to the microphone, and the public hearing is now open. Okay, hearing no comments. The public hearing is now closed. All right, so with, moving right along, item number 10 tonight is, I can't jump onto 10 just yet. I gotta kill some time here. All right, so we have one more public hearing tonight. It's at 7:55, so we're gonna, you could jump to number 11 now, which is resolution 2025-88. You know, I can't do that one either. Yeah, can't do that one, sorry, I missed that one. Yep, resolution 2025.
Number 9.
Adopting the
Yeah.
local law.
Yeah, so resolution 2025-87, adopting a local law to override the tax levy limit established in General Municipal Law C3 is item number 9 tonight. And Councilman Carter Key, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2025-87, which allows us to override the tax levy limit based on the municipal water projects that we have underway and the cost of servicing those. Motion's on the table.
A second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, let's see, we got about 3 minutes left. All right, so we are now going to move on to item 12, which is resolution 2025-89, authorizing an agreement to clean and wax the town hall, highway department, and trooper barracks floors. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I make a motion that we approved Resolution 2025-89 to award the city of Good Mates, that we have seen a quote for $4,547 to do floor cleaning, stripping and waxing of the town hall, highway department, and state trooper barracks. I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 13, I'd like to make a motion to table resolution 2025-90 for the above-ground fuel storage tanks at the highway department. I'll go into elaborate a little bit why we're tabling this one, so I have a couple minutes to spare, a few seconds to spare. All of the bids had a factor where there was a component in the bid specs to fill the fuel tanks. All three of the bids, for whatever reason, omitted that component, which in consultation with the New York Association of Towns and our municipal council, that was significant enough that we had to decline all bids. So the fuel tank project is going to have to be rebid. So I'd like to make a motion to table that resolution until those can be rebid and go through the process once again.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Boy, I can all about 3 seconds. All right, item number 14 tonight is resolution 2025-91, which is a resolution approving engineering services proposal for phase 2 of the water system improvements. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that up tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-91, whereas we have 23,115 linear feet of 8-inch and 12-inch water mains, installing 6,900 linear foot 12-inch transmission mains. This total design cost for the engineering, administration, resident inspection, and closeout project totals $991,130, which represents approximately 14.2% of the estimated construction cost of $7 million. So, pretty expensive, but necessary, so I'd like to make a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Kartahini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, our last public hearing of the evening tonight is a public hearing on the 2026, bless you, 2026 tentative budget. Bless you.
Thank you.
And it reads as follows. Notice is hereby given that the tentative budget of the town of Austin for the fiscal year beginning on January 1st, 2026 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk, where it is available for inspection by any interested person during regular office hours. Further, notice is hereby given that the Boston Town Board will hold a public hearing and review said tentative budget at the Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road at 7:55 p.m. Eastern Prevailing Time on October 15, 2025. And at such hearing, any person may be heard either for or against the tentative budget and its compiled or any items contained therein. Pursuant to section 103 of the town law, the proposed salaries of the following elected town officers are: supervisor, $49,808, town clerk, $60,974, 4 council members at $10,535, superintendent of highways, $87,200, 2 town justices at $24,398. An exemption report is available. This was dated on September 29th, 2025. Published on October 2nd, 2025 by the order of the town board. Sandra L. Quinlan, town clerk, and again, this institution is an equal opportunity provider and employer. Public hearing is now open regarding the tentative budget. You can like to the microphone. The floor, the public hearing is now open.
Shane Quinlan, 6700 Leibler Road. Just a comment that I wanted to thank Ellie for the nice layout of the tentative budget and all the extras that she includes. It's like a state of the town, the water projects to goes way beyond budget. It's kind of explains what you guys go through all the time in live meetings. It's a lot of information. I think a lot of people missed out. You know, it's 5 or 6, 7 years you've been doing this. So, just wanted to say a nice job to Ellie and everyone else, Jason, everyone that puts a lot of extra time into that. And I'm glad to be in the town of Boston, because I think we keep a good lid on the budget. I understand you're trying to press forward with some big projects there. Been since 2012 with these water main breaks and other things that go on. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for the public hearing? All right, with no further comments, we'll close the public hearing and we'll move on to item number 11 tonight. We're jumping back up again now because we have a resolution that coincides with the tentative budget, and resolution 2025-88, which is adoption of the 2026 budget. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Supervisor. I make a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-88, which the town of Boston has submitted estimates of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. A public presentation of the budget was held on October 8th, 2025, and the preliminary budget as hereinafter set forth is hereby adopted as the annual budget of the town of Boston for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. I make a motion to adopt it.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karadini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 15 tonight, moving back down, and now we're going to stay in order, so there's no other public hearings going forward, is Resolution 2025-92, authorizing the supervisor to execute a driveway turnout agreement with Lisa Delamore. And Councilman Karadini, would you like to take that, Jen?
I would love to, but I don't have that. No? There's only one copy of it. Okay, I have it now. Thank you Supervisor Keating. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt 2025-92, which authorizes the highway superintendent to do some sealing of the driveway of this resident at 9313 Smolinski Drive, not to exceed $750.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karadini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, yes, go ahead. Next one that we have is item number 16 tonight, Resolution 2025-93. We're going to do 3 of these all back to back. This just goes to show that the success for the always stop, thanks to public feedback at Eckert and Taylor, no good deed goes unpunished, because a lot of positive feedback came out of that. A lot of people have asked for different intersections to be looked at. So the following 3, Councilwoman Lukashev wanted to take these 3 items tonight. But they are as follows. Resolution 2025-93, requesting an always stop study to address traffic concerns at the intersection of Mayor and Zimmerman. Item number 17, Resolution 2025-94, requesting an always stop study to address traffic safety concerns at the intersection of Rice and Zimmerman Road. And item number 18, Resolution 2025-95, requesting an always stop study to address traffic safety concerns at the intersection of South Abbott Road and Herman Hill Road. Councilwoman Lukashev, those are all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So the first resolution for Mayor and Zimmerman Road, the town board believes that one option to increase traffic safety at that location would be to install better signage at the intersection of Mayor Road and Zimmerman Road. So the town board has learned of new warrants for line of sight and other changes, and an engineering study is required prior to installation of all-way stop signage, and such a study must be performed by Erie County Department of Public Works. I make a motion that we approve to get the traffic study approved and started.
Second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karadini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The next resolution is for a traffic always stop study to address the Rice Road and Zimmerman Road traffic safety for an always stop, to look at installing an always stop signage at the intersection of Rice and Zimmerman Roads. Same thing, the town board has learned of new warrants for the line of sight. An engineering study is required prior to installation, and the Erie County Public Works needs to perform this. We're requesting one be performed. Motion on the table.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karadini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The last resolution for a traffic study is for South Abbott Road and Herman Hill intersection. The town board has learned of new warrants for line of sight. Motorists have suggested always stop signage. An engineering study is required prior to installation of always stop signage, and a study must be performed by the DOT, the New York State DOT. I make a motion that we approve this resolution.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karadini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 19 tonight is Resolution 2025-96. I'd like to make a motion to table the resolution authorizing an investment in the Empire Public Investment Corporate Fund of New York, also known as the EPIC Fund, Corporate Agreement.
Second?
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karadini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 20 tonight is Resolution 2025-97, approving the New York Association of Towns as an authorized training provider for planning board and zoning board appeals members. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Sure, and just an aside, can we open the floor back up for public
Definitely.
comment? Because I know Deputy Miller
Yeah,
has his
yeah, I was gonna-
report. Okay.
Yep.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-97, which would be approving New York State Association of Towns as an authorized training provider for Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals members. These members require a minimum of 4 hours of training each year pursuant to New York State law. And the New York Association of Towns, in cooperation with New York State Planning Federation and others, qualified and approved provider of these hours. So I make a motion to approve this resolution for our zoning and planning board.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi.
Yes.
Councilman Curtis.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukascik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 21 tonight is Resolution 2025-98, adopting a leave donation policy. And Councilman Carter-Keeney, would you like to take that item tonight?
I'd rather have the blood
The
drive.
blood one? All right, Councilman Sullivan,
Yes,
would you
thank
take that
you.
item?
Thank you, Mr.
Sure,
Supervisor.
sure.
I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-98, whereas the town board recognizes the importance of supporting employees who experience extended medical conditions and have exhausted their accrued paid leave. This formal leave policy allows employees who are not otherwise in the collective bargaining unit to voluntarily donate a portion of their accrued vacation or personal leave only to assist eligible coworkers. Therefore, I would like to make a motion to approve this resolution 2025-98.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi.
Yes.
Councilman Curtis.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukascik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 22 tonight is Resolution 2025-99, adopting a blood donation policy. Councilman Carter-Keeney, all yours.
Thank you Supervisor Keating. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2025-99, adopting a blood donation leave policy, whereas Section 202-J of the New York State Labor Law requires public and private employers to provide employees with leave to donate blood, whereas the town of Boston, the town board of the town of Boston recognizes the importance of supporting community health initiatives and wishes to encourage employee participation in blood donation, and whereas the town board finds it in its best interest of the town to establish a policy providing paid leave for employees to donate blood consistent with state law, and to designate the monthly blood drives at the town hall as the preferred means of donation. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby adopts the blood donation policy leave effective immediately, a copy of which is attached hereto and made part of this resolution. Be it further resolved that this policy shall be incorporated into the town employee handbook and distributed to all town employees. On October 15, 2025, the question of the adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly put to a vote on roll call, which results as follows. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi.
Yes.
Councilman Curtis.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukascik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 3 tonight is approval of a new member for the Boston Fire Company, Joshua Older. Carter-Keeney, would you like to take that item?
I certainly would. Yeah, no, it's great, it's great. Yes, it is. So we received a letter from Chief Norm Quino of the Boston Fire Company that Josh Oler has passed the required background checks, and it is my honor and privilege to make a motion that we approve him for active duty immediately with the Boston Fire Company.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi.
Yes.
Councilman Curtis.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukascik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 4 is an application for use of facility for the from the Town of Boston Emergency Manager. I guess I'll take this item tonight since I filled this out on behalf of our emergency manager. There's going to be a training event here on October 22nd from 5:30 to 10:30 p.m. Again, this is for all the fire companies in the town. they're requesting use of the town hall community room and bathroom facilities, and also the town fields. This is going to be a fireworks event, so on October 22nd, they're going to be setting off pyrotechnics. This is not where people can, please do not come out to this. This is a training exercise. Do not come out behind town hall if you happen to see it from afar. Since this is all on public record, please stay back. Again, this is a training exercise from 5:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. This is a town event, so there's, the town obviously is sponsoring the insurance and covering all, and there's no costs. So I'd like to make a motion to approve this application for use of facility.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Curtis?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, so next item is item number 25 for an application for use of facility for the Town of Boston Halloween party. And Councilman Cardini, you want to take that item?
Sure. Thank you, Supervisor Keating. This is my own request for a town event. We're gonna have a Town of Boston Halloween party / safety event. It's gonna be on Friday, October 31st, from 4:30 to 6 p.m. It's a public event. We're gonna be handing out glow sticks, and our highway superintendent has graciously offered to bring pumpkins for free for the kids. There's gonna be cider and donuts, and, you know, it's just gonna be kind of a loose get-together. And it's gonna be at the Lion Shelter, with early voting. The community room is gonna be occupied by the Board of Elections, so if anybody could put in a request for light on variable winds with a warmer temperature that doesn't require hats and gloves, I'd be grateful. So there is no alcohol. It is not a private party. It is a public special event. Motion's on the table.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Curtis?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that is it for our new business. Before we get on to our old business, which we do have two items there. I know we do have Deputy Miller, who was mentioned earlier. I know he likes to give us a report, so Deputy Miller, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you to Jay for reading the article. I appreciate it. Then we had a narcotics tip recently that I got at a village board meeting, and it led to a search warrant and a raid 3 weeks later after the meeting. So I encourage people to come out. You can remain anonymous, and I was working with that individual, and we were meeting up and basically sharing information, and it developed some intelligence, and it led to a search warrant. So it just goes to show that that's how, what we're shooting for sometimes. It's ways that we can communicate and share things that, you know, lead to crime and drugs getting off the streets and guns and everything else. There was one just in the news recently as well. We arrested, I think, 4 at the raid, and then we did 3 after that were also related to narcotics. So we had 7 arrests in 2 days, all narcotic related. And then we had 3 other arrests. There's been a lot of homeless issues in Springville. People have been complaining about that nonstop. Luckily, not here. We had one at Boston Valley last year that we nipped in the bud, and that he hasn't returned. Speaking of that, I have been up at Boston Valley a lot now that school's underway, doing some school checks, a couple events I attended up there as well. It's been busy, and I got a lot of good feedback from different parents and stuff that we were there. So I'll try to show up there. I'll keep showing up there more often as I can. We also, we've been shorthanded with bodies, but we're bringing somebody on the unit November 1st. So I'll have somebody else. I was kind of by myself for everything for a while. So I'll have he's another local, that's maybe less than 10 minutes from here. So it'll be good. I'll kind of bring them in and show them, you know, the operations of what we do, and then I can have them involved with some of the events and stuff with me. Coming up, I'll be at the Boys and Girls Club Friday night. They're having like a fun night, and then I'll also be at Boston Trunk or Treat next Saturday. They hope to have me and maybe one or two others, somebody from the SWAT team or different division as well. I know we were working on something for Halloween, so I'll get in touch with you before that, and get the details, so we're ready for
Yep.
Halloween evening. That's it for events. We had, for September, we had 105 calls, 52 premise checks. I had 10 community policing contacts. We were down to 2 accidents. It was, obviously, the property crimes have lowered, so that's good. That was a big thing earlier in the year, obviously. And same with traffic complaints. We had a lot of traffic complaints early on that we're down to 4, and 3 of them are on the 219, which is very common. The 219 is full of traffic complaints, so that's really good for traffic complaints. Yeah, I believe that's it. I know, sorry, I missed the last one. I was doing some events at Boston Valley that day, and they were all during the day. Only so many hours in the day.
Right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, so move on to old business. We have 2 items, and I guess I'll take both these items. These are, believe it or not, these are from last year. We had, the town board had requested soil samples for 2 fill permits. So items 1 and 2 under old business tonight were old public hearings. If anyone would like to come up to the microphone and speak on these 2 matters. The first one, because again, these were kept open from last year pending the soil test analysis, which we now have. They confirmed that there were no concerns with the soil. All that information is on file in the code enforcement office on record. And the 2 addresses, both are again related to Matt Colo. First address is 7008 on Falius Road, and then also 7631 Zimmerman Road. So if anyone would like to come up on those 2 matters, because these public hearings were kept open awaiting these results, please feel free to come up, speak your piece on those 2 items. Floor is open on those public hearings, and feel free to say what you would like. Nobody remembers this because it was a year ago.
I do.
Well, we all do, I think, yeah. All of the regulars remember this. Yes, exactly, right? It's good, you all pay attention. Kudos.
What year are these permits for?
So these were, that's a great question. So these permits, if you go back and, down memory lane, these permits were both filed for a fill permit, filed for work that was already previously done. This is why we asked and sought the additional information to make those permit applications whole based off of the public concern that was addressed in earlier public comments. So that is what that's for. Excellent question.
Yeah, my name is Kevin Chuck, I was up here before.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about my permit for filling in the pond. On my permit, it doesn't say anything about testing. So am I gonna get my tested? Or is this all through MACU or what's going
No,
on?
you're totally fine. So,
Totally fine, then.
yes,
Before, okay.
each is a case-by-case scenario. So there was, going back, there was one parcel that came in and expressed concern because of well water, and the type of fill that was being brought in, is it contaminated soils, et cetera. The town board did not have that information at that time, so we had requested a soil analysis to be performed and provided the code enforcement office, which, as you're well aware, that's where the fill permit originates from. Soil tests came back, it provided no conclusionary evidence that the soil was contaminated or there were any concerns, which is finally why at long last we were able to finally get back and bring these 2 items back up and approve their fill permits. Your
So
situation
I
is
realize I might be like the first person in town to get my pond filled. But since when was it put in that only town of Boston dirt can be put in my pond? And you've got 3,000 other people in this town that don't have that requirement. I see dump trucks coming in all the time, every neighbor in this town, and it's not required for them to have their dirt come from Boston, is it?
So that's an old code that's on the books. Essentially, it was originated, from my understanding, and I don't want to put our town council on the spot here, but the code language that's on file was essentially for the purpose of like the highway department. So say, for example, as a taxpaying citizen, if you came in and expressed interest in having fill brought on your property, if it's within within the 36 square miles of Boston, you were able to get fill, and the permit process might not need apply. However, in today's world, fast forward to 2025, a lot of fill's been coming in from outside of the town. There was a matter that the town board addressed, which actually originated the new fill permit that you have in your hand. that we took additional measures and steps to create a more comprehensive fill permit application.
Because of me?
No, yours is, yeah, but the public speak for themselves. No, this was a copious amount of fill that was brought in on a particular parcel. We had residents come out in mass, upset at the amount of dust, the noise for years. I mean, it was, talk about earth moving, this was on the cusp of earth moving.
For
Yeah,
years.
I've seen this across the street from me, but besides the
So,
point.
yes, so this is how we're, as a governing board, because we're not an authority board, we're a governing board. So this is where we put these measures in place to then allow code enforcement to enforce the code that's on the books.
So I can't even get dirt brought in from Eden or East Aurora?
Depends on the
Where I
client.
see all.
You can.
But if you pay for it,
You can,
so if you pay for it, I can have dirt come in from another town, right?
yes, the best advice I can.
But so I'm paying a contractor to do this.
Yep.
Why does he have to have a requirement of having his dirt come from Boston?
He
What
does-
is, what
he does-
is
he
the
doesn't.
difference there?
He doesn't. So again, this is a control measure that was requested by code enforcement, so we can put control on large amounts of fill coming in from outside of the town of Boston.
This
So every
pond-
case is a
this
case by case
pond's
scenario.
half the size of this room.
Okay,
I'm not making rich stadium here.
yeah. It's the amount of fill, and it was requested, again, being a town board, you know, whoever sits in these 5 chairs, it was a request from code enforcement to try to ratchet that down, because we did have residents expressing concern on East Hill with the amount of fill that was being brought in over there. So the way that we can control that as a governing board and give the code enforcement the tools to perform their job in code enforcement was to create the fill permit that, you know, you and I are discussing. So everything is on a case-by-case basis. On the flip side of the coin, on that case-by-case basis, you know, to answer your question on, let's say you went to Schreiber Winkleman, you know, and asking for fill. You as the landowner are technically responsible for the one, you know, filling out a permit, or just a quick phone call to code, hey, you know, I'm getting 2 dump truck loads worth of fill brought in from Schreiber Winkleman, do I need a permit? They would give you all that information.
Okay.
Any other comments on regarding those 2 parcels? If not, I will close the public hearing at long last. Hearing no comments, public hearing has now been closed. Without further ado, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2 fill permits for item 1 and 2 for Old Business for Macolo. Again, both parcels, one located at 7008 on Falius Road, second parcel being at 7631 Zimmerman Road.
A second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Tarantini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukasik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that is it for our business tonight. Reports and presentations. Highway Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. The highway department has some surplus equipment. One of them was a 2009 Ford 550 plow truck. It was 16, 17 years old. We put it on Auctions International, $13,900 for the truck. We had an old equipment trailer, we got $2,000 for that. And we had some old filters up in the attic that were for equipment that we got rid of years ago that we were never gonna use, and we put them on Auctions International and got $100 for them. It's, you know, I don't know who's gonna use them, but anyway, we got $100 for them. Other than that, the highway department put some concrete blocks down at the South Boston Park around the parking lot. There used to be some poles there and telephone poles, and they were kind of all rotted out. So we took all the poles out, we put these concrete blocks down there around the parking lot. And other than that, the leaf pickup has started. We're definitely looking for places to dump the leaves. Anybody in town that wants leaves, we're gonna have plenty of them. We have one resident up on Liebler Road that said he wanted a lot of leaves. We took him 1 load, and he says that's all he needs. So we're looking for places to dump. If it's all right with the board, the last quite a few years, probably 20 years, they've been dumping them up in my place. So, and I'm willing to take them again this year. So if that's all right with the board, we'll dump them at my place. Other than that, the only place we could take them is the town of Orchard Park, the composting place, and that costs a lot of money, plus a lot of time to drive them all the way in there. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Sully, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to extend my sentiments and thanks to Deputy Miller. It's great to see you around, and I totally agree with that article that Jay Jackson read. That was amazing. I love that you're going to the school. The little kids love to see, you know, the officers there, and it just shows respect, and thanks for doing that. Ellie, great job on the budget again. It's never easy to put it together, especially what we're going through right here with our projects. It's not easy and hard pill to swallow to go over the tax cap. We don't like to do that, obviously. First time since I've been here that we had to do it. And the reason is the water projects and the waste management contract. So there's a reason for everything, and I wanted to thank you for putting it all together. And I'm sorry I missed your presentation. I had a family emergency, which I try not to miss that, but, so thanks again. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you very much. Councilman Carter-Keating, you have the floor.
Thank you Supervisor Keating. I'd also like to extend appreciation to our budget director, Ellie, for putting together the budget presentation and, you know, the comprehensive view of what it is that we're doing with taxpayer money, and all the department heads that took time out of their day-to-day to come forward with, you know, what I feel is a really good budget. I wasn't real happy about going over the tax cap as well, but, you know, every time people turn on their spigot or flush their toilet or take a shower, they're gonna be happy that, you know, we invested in the town and the water infrastructure. It's certainly, a lot of it's all underground. People aren't ever gonna really see it once the work is done, but necessary. I'd like to welcome Josh Oler to the Boston Fire Company. Appreciate all the people that are joining. It's been great. It seems like every meeting we've had, we've been approving at least a member and sometimes two. So I would like to have a moment of silence for a longtime resident, Fred Shear, who passed away last week. He was a tremendous asset to our community, always had a great joke to tell, but a long-standing member of the North Boston Fire Company. So if everybody would join me in a moment of silence for Fred. Thanks for everything you did for our town. Thanks, that's all I have tonight.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Councilwoman Martin, you have the floor.
Thank you Supervisor. Again, Ellie, great job on the budget as usual. I appreciate all of your detail and help with that. I do have an announcement for Maplewood Cemetery is having their annual fall cleanup on Saturday, October 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All hands on deck. If anybody can come down and donate a little time, it'd be appreciated. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you Supervisor Keating. Just a few things tonight. The Boston Free Library is having their book sale that started October 11th and that goes through October 25th. That is during their regular business hours, and there are some other things that are going on with that book sale. Tomorrow, October 16th, they'll be painting the pumpkins. And then on Saturday, October 25th, the last day, is a Halloween game day at 11 a.m. And the Connect Life blood drive, the last blood drive that was the beginning of this month, I guess those chance to win the Bills tickets really did it. Record-breaking numbers of 42 units were collected, which helped save the lives of 126 local patients. The next blood drive is Tuesday, November 4th. That will take place in this room, in this boardroom. That is election day, so of course voting is in the community room. The town hall is closed that day, so if you're here for the blood drive, please enter through the downstairs door. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Well, and I know people hear me say this all the time, but I'd like to thank Ellie. I know she and I spend a lot of time working on the budget, but she's obviously the workhorse behind the budget. The budget presentation was put on last week. If you want to just see a snippet of it, feel free to look at item number 5 in the correspondence. If you want to see the whole meat and potatoes of the 232 slides that we went through in just about 2 hours, we have that in there too. So please take a look at that. It tells you everything on how to read your bill, how all of our districts are broken out. So as you all hear all of us talk about whether it's fire, whether it's water, etc., that's not your town tax. Those are your district taxes. So, that's something we try to put out there to show everybody exactly the openness and the transparency and where your money goes. The three big items, which is, what the fellow board members have alluded to, was our fire protection. We're fully funding the Service Award Point Program, also known as LOSAP, Lanxess Service Award Point Program. That is at $400,000 this year. That is something that the actuarials have come back to us as a board for many years. Essentially, we inherited a multi-million-dollar deficit back when we all came on the board, and we're trying to make that whole based off of that. And so the $400,000 is there. We will still commit additional sales tax revenues as those become available potentially next year. Hopefully, we have a good year next year, and we'll keep chipping away at that one. Water obviously is a big one. We knew when that debt service came in. That was also part of the budget presentations. Where that water debt is going to go on. We'll probably experience this again in the near future once water phase 2 comes in. Same deck of cards as we're going through right now. The tertiary scenario was your solid waste bill. Solid waste is factored in at Consumer Price Index. This is a standard CPI. This is solid waste CPI at a 6.1% increase. So that was another big driving factor of why we went over. So while when you look at all the different areas of the budget, those are the mechanics, as fellow board members have said, but there was a lot of thought that went into that. As always, thank you, Ali, for all of your work there. I did want to say that our next 4 board meetings, there's probably going to be something going on because we do have fuel tanks, so we need to rebid. So our next board meetings are November 5th, the 19th, December 3rd, and December 17th. So feel free to add those to your calendars. I wanted to kind of give a shout out to NYSEG. I know there's a lot of conversation going on around the energy sector right now, but NYSEG did have an event downstairs tonight from 4 to 7. They will have one over in the town of Aurora on, I believe it's October 27th. And this was an outreach event. It's to talk about the smart meters. It's to talk, they have billing specialists there. If you have a question about your bill, want to talk about, hey, why is Jason's bills higher at his house? They'll go in, they'll pull up your history, they'll pull up your billing. You can have that one-to-one conversation. You don't have to dial an 800 number, wait on hold, et cetera. But it was a decent event. Sadly, only a handful of people showed up, but they had all the key players there to talk about that. So I definitely appreciate NYSEG's involvement with the community to do that outreach. The comprehensive plan that we worked on, I kind of alluded to this at some board meetings, but it's beneficial. As of last Thursday, the town of Boston was awarded the Gold Award, come to find out, from the American Planning Association. So kudos to all of these schools, kudos to our small businesses, our farms, our comprehensive plan committee, all of our partners, from some CPL to other sub-consultants that were out there. There's a lot of hands that went into this. And it was an honor not only to be nominated, but then to show up, and really they don't tell you what award you win. They just tell you, show up, you're going to receive an award. It was a true honor to receive that award for the town of Boston, because that was your feedback coming back to us to put together that comprehensive plan. That will be soon out front, so everybody can take a look at that award. I did post it out to social media, and I will have a copy of the comprehensive plan there if anybody so chooses to peruse through that War and Peace size document of how we look to expand into the future. And that's everything from traffic circles. Here we go. We just approved 4-way stops. Some of these areas are prime candidates for a roundabout location, hands down. So hopefully we can work with our state and county partners to implement some of those things moving forward and keep our community safe, and also traffic flowing freely. We haven't talked about the water tanks in a little while, but we did have new generators installed. We just received confirmation from that from the Erie County Water Authority just this week. Those were installed at the end of September, so we now have new generators. God forbid there's a power outage. Here we go, energy again. There's a power outage. Our infrastructure that Erie County Water Authority manages for us will be handled there. I did want to also just touch base that we are still in negotiations regarding the EMS contract. Those are still underway. I do want to thank Jen Catarello for her time as the clerk for the Zoning Board, Planning Board, and Conservation Advisory Council. Sadly, we did receive that. That was in the board packet. We did receive that resignation letter. So we will be looking at options there as we move forward. And last but not least, an update on holiday lighting. I did have a meeting with our park staff, our past facilities member, Sean, who's now our code enforcement official in Lobella, regarding the holiday lighting. And we have pretty much a complete map laid out. They're going to go back, make some tweaks based off of suggestions and asks from our park staff. Once that's together, it'll go out to bid. We'll see where those numbers fall, and the town board will now, then be able to determine most likely next year. So it'll be the tail end of this year, early next year, we'll be getting those bids back, depending on how that timeline falls out. and we'll determine, the total cost for that project. But again, that is all of the holiday lights at all the poles. NYSEG is requiring that we have pole attachment agreements and then a fuse disconnect and supporting infrastructure on those. That will be town-owned infrastructure. So you're probably hearing some conversations there on that infrastructure, probably early part of next year, middle part of, well, that's it within the first quarter, I think is fair. And that is all I have for tonight. So that, I'll make a motion to end the meeting 8:35 PM.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Tarantini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lutchen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries.